to the top of the morning show. It is your girl TT from the D. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope that you had a great Tuesday. Yesterday was fun. It was a great day. It's September, and we are on day 16 of the 30-day scripture challenge. Now, for those of you that don't know, I have challenged myself to deliver one scripture every day for the next what we in? We're in 15, so the next 16 days. So for 31 days, you're going to get a scripture. And thus far, I've delivered a scripture even on Saturday and Sunday. Now, I know you're like, how, TT, if you only do Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.? Well, on Saturday and Sunday at 6 a.m., I'm still giving you the scripture for the day. Now, some of you might be like, I'm not about to wake up, and you don't have to. You could just listen at your leisure like you do any other time, right? I know that you don't all come on at 6 a.m., whether you're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. It's okay. Apple Podcasts Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Those are just a few of the platforms that I'm blessed to be on. And no matter what time zone you're in, because I'm in Eastern time zone, you can listen at your leisure. Now, I'm going to give you the scripture at the end of the segment. And the top of the segment, we're going to give you the hot topic for the day. And as promised yesterday, we are going to break down femme fatales. What is a femme fatale? And yesterday, just as a reminder, we learned about the alpha female. Now, you might say, what the heck? Now, you probably use another word, but what the heck is a femme fatale, right? If you've heard of the word, then it's all good. You know what it is. If you haven't, a femme fatale is a woman who's glamorous and powerful. Okay? She's glamorous and she's powerful. She's her own woman, right? And some of her characteristics could fall under I'll give you an example of some women just so you can be like, oh. Can you relate? I'm going to give you 4 movies that were hot, and I think you still be like, oh, I just watched that, or I would watch that, or whatever. Low Down, Dirty Shame. The young lady, I can't remember her name, that Shane was in love with. She was seductive. She was dangerous. She was lethal, right? And a femme fatale is what they consider a mastermind behind things, fatal or lethal to a man, the kryptonite to a man. Okay. And Mr. and Mrs. Black, the character was embodied by Angelina Jolie. Okay. And in real life, she was a real life. I think Jennifer Aniston would agree. She was a true living femme fatale. They created a bond and chemistry on set, and it was undeniable. Then he ended up divorcing Jennifer, unfortunately. He got married to Angelina. They had children, and then they stayed married for quite a while. And then y'all know they got an ugly domestic divorce, not violence, domestic divorce. Now, the hot movie that I think will be around and is timeless is Basic Instinct. Sharon Stone embodied that character. And we all know that famous scene when she was being interrogated at the police station. She had on that white dress with no undergarments on, and she crossed her legs. That was a famous scene, but she truly embodied the character of one of the unforgettable femme fatales that we know about. And last but not least, Robin Givens in Boomerang. She had Marcus eating out the palm of her hands. So this is what we will look at as signs, or we could compare and say, oh, yeah, these are women that are true femme fatales, right? So here's a few things you should know. I think this is kind of fun facts, right? We learned about what it is. Like I said, the femme fatale is like that fatal, dangerous woman, right? She's just dangerous because she's unstoppable, very seductive, right? Some might say she got a seductive spirit, right? You could say that a femme fatale has a certain je ne sais quoi, which is nothing but a fancy way to say, I don't know, it's something about her. Right? And I have to say this. Most people are drawn to a femme fatale because she has a quiet confidence and is always elegant. When she slinks in the room, slides through, pulls up, whatever we want to call it, she's impeccably dressed and looks sure of herself. She walks with confidence, right? You know when she's arrived. People know when she's arrived, okay? Now, ultimately, a femme fatale is ruthlessly ambitious. She doesn't step over people or on people to get ahead with her killer high heel boots, stilettos, 9-inch heels, or her steel toe boots or whatever she's wearing. She just works hard, and she doesn't have to work extra hard like some people. She just naturally works hard. She's driven by the attitude that she can do any and all things, especially when she wants to, right? Now, I'll say this. She's independent, right? She's a true independent because she relies on herself and others rely on her. She knows how to focus. People call upon her whether she wants to be called upon or not, right? And I'd have to say this. I believe true femme fatales are able to develop strong relationship with people, despite if it's romantic or platonic. That woman can get along with any man, any woman, any boy, any girl, anywhere, anytime. A person that would not like her is a person that is envious or jealous of her. That's what I would have to say, right? I think another point is for a femme fatale is if you notice, everyone is looking at them. They don't doubt themselves, right? They steal the show just by walking in the space. And they don't even be wanting to, and they might want to even slide in. I ain't gonna make no spectacle. People love when that woman enters that space. When all hell is breaking loose, you would look to that femme fatale, especially when you need something to get done, right? Now, they may have a signature drink, right? They go somewhere and people are like, oh, do you want your usual? A bartender is like, hey, so and so, what's going on? Okay, right. Um, and a lot of the times they might even customize their own thing. They may have come up with a concoction and like, that's the so and so, right? Now, I have to say this. They're really, really intuitive, right? They stand alone, yet they can stand with others. Hmm. Now, I will say this too. They're not afraid of a challenge. They can conversate with anybody, anytime, anywhere. It's like double dutching into a conversation, right? And they love to be around people. They are that glue that held many relationships together. They are. They just are who they are. But when it comes to men, yeah, it looks like they become kryptonite. And I'm not sure why or what that looks like. But I will say this, right? One, they have confidence. It's their lethal weapon, right? That's their secret kryptonite weapon. And it's not that they're arrogant, they own their confidence. I don't know if they had to grow into it or they're born like that. But baby, once they have it, they have it. They have the power of wit and charm, a sharp wit at that. And they can captivate pretty much just about anybody. They love to engage in intellectual conversation, right? They keep you on your toes. They listen with intent because they know how important it is to be a listener. And then they are driven with passion, right? They're the master of body language. Ooh, baby, let me tell you. They maintain pain and alluring eye contact, right? Some might even go a little further, throw their hair back, run their hands through their hair. Depends on what it is. Because if you got on a weave or something, I'm not real sure if you're gonna really be trying to run your hand through your hair. You might pull a track out. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. They are authentic. They have kindness in their heart. They are constantly evolving, right? They are unforgettable in the most amazing way. So I said all of that and I taught you all about a true femme fatale. Does any of that resonate with you? Do you know a living, for real, in real life, in real time person that reminds you of a Robin Givens from Boomerang, that reminds you of a Angelina Jolie from Mr. and Mrs. Black, that reminds you of a Sharon Stone from Basic Instinct or the young lady from Low Down Dirty Shade? Are you her? Can you take any of the characteristics that you just learned about this morning and add them with some of the characteristics that you learned about yesterday, the alpha female, and say, oh my God, this is who I am? Maybe you can. Maybe you can't. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. Well, that's all I have to say about that. It's interesting, isn't it? When we learn the power we have as women and we learn more about who we are and how we behave, you're like, dang, that sounds like me. And fellas, you could be like, damn, I'm married to a femme fatale, right? I'm married to an alpha female. Tomorrow morning, we're going to talk about mystic siren women. That's interesting. That title alone is interesting. I'm going to leave you with this scripture for today. It comes from Isaiah 33 and 6, and it reads as follows: Wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of your times, and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. I'll read that again. It comes from Isaiah 33 and 6. Wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of your times, and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Well, until the next time we leave footprints across the sun, it is your girl, TT from the D, and I'll see you soon.